You make y 0.
Oh, y 0. Oh.
You guys, we did this before. This is something that's going to be on the midterm, so it's a good thing that we're reviewing it. If I want to find the x-intercepts, I make y 0. What is y in this case? F of x, right? So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to change this into 0 equals x minus 2 quantity squared minus 3. So I have this. Are we okay so far? I'm finding the x-intercepts. You find the x-intercepts by making y 0. And then I'm going to solve for x. It seems weird, but it's easy. I promise. I can add 3 to both sides. I'm trying to get this by itself. And then I'll try and get this by itself. And then I'll try and get x by itself. That's the steps. First, get that big chunk of stuff. Get all that by itself. So I have 3 equals x minus 2 quantity squared. Now I want to get this by itself, meaning I want to get rid of that exponent. How do I get rid of a squared exponent? How do I get rid of the, you square root it. So I would square root. What happens when I square root? What do I always have to do when I square root? Plus or minus, plus or minus. So I get the plus or minus there. That will go away. And now I'm going to flip it around just because it makes more sense to me. I don't know what the square root of 3 is. Something, I don't know, 1 point something? Smaller than 2? We can put it in a calculator afterwards and figure that out. But right now, we don't need to worry about it. And then how do I get the x by itself? Add 2. That's not that bad, right? We'll do it again without graphing, but we'll do it again. So what I want to do is I want to put the 2 in front plus the square root of 3 and 2 minus the square root of 3. Those are our 2 answers. If I wanted to check and make sure, because I said it's something a tiny bit less than 4 and a tiny bit more than 0. If I want to see if these are correct, I would plug it into the calculator. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So I have 2 plus the square root of 3, which is, wait, I put 1. I did 1. 2 plus square root of 3. And that would be 3.73 something something something. And then 2 minus the square root of 3. 0.26 something something something. This one's a tiny bit above 0. That's that one. And then this one's a tiny bit less than 4. That's exactly like what we said. But I would just leave it like this. I write them separately so you know that there's 2 answers. And that's it. That's the only thing that's new, really. And then the axis of symmetry, I feel like. X squared plus 12x minus 11. Complete the square and find the zeros. I'm going to give you guys time to do it. I feel like you could do this one on your own. Try it and we'll see. So, to complete the square, that should be super fast. In this case, it would be x
Plus 6 squared.
Yes, plus 6 minus 36 minus 11. I did it. I undid it because it was an ugly 6. And then I did the exact same ugly 6. Okay, so f of x equals x plus 6 squared minus 47. And then find the zeros. That's the same thing as finding the x-intercepts. That means I make this 0. And I say, oh, and then it's easy. X plus 6. You can actually do the rest in your head. Maybe you see that. I know I'm going to add the 47. So I get a positive 47. I'm going to square root it. which means I have a plus or minus. And then I'm going to subtract 6.
Yeah.
So that's how you do it in your head. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
And then you get x equals negative 6 plus square root of 47. And x equals negative 6 minus square root of 47.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like this, eventually we're going to be graphing stuff that's like not so nice, but we'll eventually get decimals for this and approximate. So then we could do this and plot the vertex, and graphing will be like super, super easy. Like we did the difficult stuff already, and you might not even thought it was difficult. But we'll eventually use these. We'll just get them as decimals and then approximate the zeros. That way we can get pretty good graphs of quadratics. So it'll be nice. Any questions on that one?
No.
So here we have the same instructions except for this is odd, but it doesn't make a difference. It'll still be just as easy as long as we know how to deal with the odds. This is one of the parts where, yes, you do just write the 2 underneath the 9 because you can't divide it by 2 evenly. So I'll give you like 30 seconds. First, the instructions say to complete the square, so I'll do that. Like even if you could factor this to find the zeros or the X intercepts, it's probably easier to just complete the square because that's so fast. Actually, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's what
I was
going along with it. I was like, yeah, I quit.
Just kidding. That was my mistake. Okay, now it should work like normal.
Yeah, but I did.
So I'm gonna do it right now. That way you have time for your quiz. Less than 10 minutes. Sorry, Xavier. So I'll have x minus 9 over 2 squared. I feel like some people might have put a 3 there. If you did, I mean that's good pattern recognition, but it's not right. And then minus 81 over 4 plus 12. So 48. 81 minus 48. 81. It's negative 81 plus 48. What is that? Is it negative 33? Thank you.
Over 4?
And the rest of it, actually, I can do in my head. But I'm going to write down some stuff. So there, I completed the square. I'll make this 0, and then equals the rest, just so I can see. I can square root. Oh, actually, I would add this over. So I get, I'm going to say x equals. If I added this over, it becomes positive. 33 over 4. And then square root it. And it'll be plus or minus, because I'm getting rid of that. And then I add that over, so that will be a positive. Not a 9 over 9, a 9 over 2. So there we go. X equals 9 over 2 plus the square root of 33 over 4.
Yep.
And x equals 9 over 2 minus the square root of 33 over 4. And we can leave it like that. I'm not going to fuss about that. Still just as easy. Yeah?